everyone, and welcome to another episode of Big Niagara's Views. Alright, so I've done 3 of the 4 Alien films so far in a review. Now, I've been dreading having to do this review. I'm sorry, but this review I did not want to do, but I kinda gotta. Doing a series, might as well do the worst of it as well. And that I am talking about, of course, for the Alien movies. Alien Resurrection. This is the 4th film in this series, and it's undoubtedly the worst of the 4 films. About the only watchable value, or rewatchable value, is the fact that it is an Alien film. Other than that, I'd stay the hell away from it. I like the concept that they had in it. I like the ideas that they had for it. But overall, they just ruined it. They ruined the idea that they're coming up with. It's... I don't know, it's... I only watch it because it's an Alien film. I've seen it a couple times, and that's about it, and that's all I need to. But, they tried too hard. I'm just gonna put it like that. They tried to make it a blend of the first and second film. They tried again to have a somewhat of a claustrophobic atmosphere, but not really. I mean, it was kind of, but not really. But they had too many things going on all at once, and it wasn't the correct environment for it. The second film, they have a lot of xenomorphs coming left and right, and the effects are good for the time, and it's just mind-blowing to see a film like that. I love the effects in the second film. This one, they tried too hard to make it. They just tried to rehash everything. I'm just going to say that. What they did in Alien Resurrection is just... I don't like it at all. So, here... I'm going to read to you the back of the case. Like, you know, the summaries that they have. All the quotation marks from, like, Entertainment Weekly who commented on it. Just in that little segment. And all that stuff. Can't wait to read some shitty stuff. Sigourney Weaver and Winona Ryder, sorry, I can't pronounce her first name, star in this terrifying, highly anticipated sci-fi action thriller. Ellen Ripley, who is played by Weaver, died finding the perfect predator. That was Arnie, and he survived. 200 years and 8 horrific experiments later, I'll say, she's back. A group of scientists has cloned her, along with the alien queen inside of her. And for those of you who haven't seen my second review, Aliens, this is basically what it'll look like after it becomes a full-fledged queen. This one is not all the way full-fledged queen. I mean, they got some stuff incorrect, but it works. It's an older figure, and it's got some value, I guess. And hoping to breed the ultimate weapon. But the resurrected Ripley is full of surprises for her creators, as are the aliens, and soon a lot more than all hell breaks loose. To combat the creatures, Ripley must team up with a band of smugglers, including a mechanic named Call, C-A-L-L, who's played by Ryder, who holds more than a few surprises of her own. A life of spectacular special effects and co-starring Ron Perlman, and I'm pretty sure that's the actor who did Hellboy. I might be wrong though, but I'm pretty sure. He was also in, I think it was something Witch. I don't know. Dan Hedaya, I think that's his last name. Sorry, I can't pronounce names that well. J.E. Greenman. J. Brad Dourif, I think. And Michael Wincott. Alien Resurrection is a riveting, pulse-pounding roller coaster that's reborn to be wild. Entertainment Weekly. Come on board if you dare and witness a whole new breed of terror. I hope they mean terrible film. I'm just gonna put that out there. This film is, without a doubt, I think I understand where they're going with the whole storyline, and I like it, but it was executed in a way that is just plain old terrible. I mean, how do I put it? I think that's cool the way that they changed Ripley. And also, really quick, while I'm on that topic, I love the way that Sigourney Weaver portrayed Ellen Ripley in these films. From the first film, she was kind of a solitude type person. She wasn't like always like cowering at people's feet, and she could hold her own somewhat, but still she wasn't like the full-fledged person that you see in Aliens. Aliens, she's just an ass kicker all the way. I mean, nothing can stop her. Now, two facehuggers attacking her, Newt, not the alien queen, not a horde of xenomorphs, not a... yeah. She just plows on through. In the first film, she took on the alien by herself. No weapons. All she had was a little harpoon gun with only one shot, and only used it once. Yeah, only one shot. Other than that, she had no weapons. Well, other people did, but I mean, she didn't. She didn't have very much of anything, and she was the lone survivor of the Nostromo. Third film, she still has that ass-kickingness that you see in the second film, but she has an alien embryo in her. And, of course, she panics and goes like that. But she still has somewhat of the same personality that she had in the first and the second film. And she still is a very enjoyable character, and you connect more with her because you see the downgrading and seeing her emotions portrayed on the screen. Fourth film, she takes on a completely different role. She still has somewhat of an ass-kickingness, but overall, I think that she's still kind of a whiner at times. Or actually, no, she's not really a whiner in this one. The third one, yeah. But then again, you have a xenomorph coming after you that you've never seen before. And actually, no, she would. Yeah, somewhat. The fourth film, she's a completely different character with the same name. I like the way that she portrays her. Like, for example, what's a good example? Not Attack on Titan. Sorry, I was watching that earlier. You know those characters in movies that it's... one that's not afraid to take charge, but at the same time, it's like, okay, might as well. Goes all casual. She's one of those characters, and she's like, okay, might as well. And if someone pisses her off, then she does something, and she will fight back. She's anything but a pacifist. She's willing to do whatever to stay alive. And that, I enjoy that. I like that she's that kind of character. But how they portray how the rest of the actors portray their characters. I think that the only two characters that really stood out was Sigourney Weaver and Miss Ryder. And like I said, I can't pronounce her first name, so sorry about that. I like Miss Ryder's character because you can see the build up and see her reacting to the rest of the crew. I like how torn she is from wanting to kill Sigourney Weaver and wanting to be friends. I like seeing. I know that sounds weird, but you find out later why. I like seeing the connection that those two characters have. In the second film, Aliens, Sigourney Weaver has a strong connection with Newt because, as I mentioned in that review, her daughter actually had recently died. Or not recently, but she was frozen for 57 years between the first and second film. And she learned that her daughter died. She was trying to go there for her daughter's 12th birthday, but couldn't because of this alien. She was planning on arriving at a station in 6 weeks after. But 57 years later, that's when she wakes up, and everything has changed. And so she finds Newt, and these two actresses really connect, and I enjoy that. The fourth film, it's like, okay, they become somewhat friends. Half the time you don't know if they want to kill each other. Well, somewhat. Like I said, Sigourney Weaver's character is very like, might as well. It was a character from Attack on Titan like that. Sorry about all the references, but yeah, their characters. I was just like, might as well. Gotta survive, I guess. That's basically how she portrays her character in this film. It's the other characters that really bug me. For example, the captain guy. He's kind of derpy. I'm just gonna say this: how the actor portrayed him. He's derp. I mean, like, for example, and spoiler, I guess, if you want to call it that. For example, they did something very, very dumb. I don't know why they did this. Anyway, he's evacuating the station because this is like on a space station where they're bringing the aliens, and he and another person who's one of the other survivors in the end of the film. Well, you'll find out later. Anyway, he and the other person that is alive for most of it, they're about to get to the last escape pod, and then all of a sudden a xenomorph appears right behind him. He sees the other guy that survives, and here's the thing: the inner mouth that the xenomorphs have, like one of these, those can penetrate through a Yatuja, and those of you guys who don't know, the predators. It can penetrate through the skull and it can penetrate past the skull. It's very strong and very thick. The Yatuja skull, including the mask, and yet it just went like barely even halfway in, and then you see him still alive, like reach back, pull something out. Piece of brain. I don't know. It doesn't really make any sense. So yeah, that was kind of a dumb scene. And yeah, they have scenes like that throughout. Like, for example, when they're climbing a ladder trying to escape from a xenomorph that jumped through them in the water. When trying to climb a ladder, this one person, he can't walk, but he had to get out of the wheelchair. He, like I said, he can't walk, and was out of the wheelchair and was connected on the back of another guy. And anyway, so he's connected to the back of him, and a xenomorph like I said, was chasing them and started climbing the ladder. So the guy that was climbing, they got turned around somehow, and the guy that was climbing originally, the one that was going to be helping the guy that can't use his legs, they're flung backwards. So this guy that can't use his legs only can use his hands, and anyway, the other character starts shooting at the xenomorph, and the xenomorph spits acid in his face. And it's like, oh my god, man. He's still alive. He is. He's fine. Everything. Of course it hurts, but he's still alive. He's still breathing, and he would have easily been able to get the xenomorph hand off his feet, the dead one, because the other guy, Ron Perlman, I think. The guy who plays Hellboy. He shot the xenomorph and penetrated his skull and killed it. Well, the xenomorph's hand was still on the guy's feet. And so the other person that doesn't have legs, which, now I'm not saying that as being insulting, but yes, he couldn't use his legs, unfortunately. He was having to hold on by his hands. He was having to hold up both the guy that was carrying him earlier, as well as the xenomorph attached to the guy's feet. The guy was conscious, and all he was doing was just hanging there. And he was still alive and everything. And he just kills himself, I guess? He just, like... So basically, the guy that can only use his arms, he's going out to the person that's connected to him. He's like, no, because the guy is... well, being an idiot, and is starting to unlatch the buckles that are connecting them together to get rid of the weight to help save the guy. And like I said, he's alive. Of course, his face was burning, but it ended pretty quickly, and it didn't kill him, so that's always a bonus. And anyway, so he just drops out with the xenomorph as like a sacrifice, I guess. What? And then you never see the guy. He's apparently dead? What? Why? And I don't know. And I will admit that this other scene, dumb as it is, also kind of funny. This is actually taking place right before the guy dropped. Or, no, right after, actually. And, Hellboy, without all his horns that was filed down, like, after he shoots the xenomorph, because he was back on with his hands only connecting him to the ladder that was going up. And so he fell back and shot the xenomorph and went through the skull. And all that. Anyway, he goes back up. He sees a spider, and these shells are pretty powerful. He's just like, ah, shit, bam! He just kills the spider on the web. Like, ah, bam. Yeah, I guess that's funny. It's funny, but dumb at the same time. I will admit that they had a scene like that. And another character that they introduced a little bit earlier than this was a guy that had a xenomorph embryo inside of him. So the original plan was that they would get to the ship and they would get to the ship that the smugglers had come on, and they would put this guy in cryo, and they would get this guy in cryo, freeze him, so basically the xenomorph would burst out in a few more hours, and then they get him to medical bay on Earth or something like that, and basically fix him all up. He'd be all fine and joyful, and they'll take the xenomorph out. What happened was, at the end scene, they're all on the ship, and I'll mention to you another climax that's happened at the exact same time as this. Or, no, a little bit after, I guess. Anyway, this guy, he holds the Miss Ryder's character's call? Call. What is she? Like a I know she's an android. I know she's an android, but still, what? Can she make telephone calls, I guess? Hey, can we order pizza? Sure. Okay, it's delivered. But he's holding her hostage, not knowing that she's an android, and this guy that has Xenomorph about to come out, he makes a heroic sacrifice and just like, and they made all this like shaky cam, like, oh, so devious, and all this other stuff, and then like he basically knocked this guy out, then held his head to his chest, and then the chest burster came out and went through the guy's head. Actually, both of them. But it seems like that where they had like all this other shaky cam that was just completely needless. I mean, you don't need a shaky cam. You only need to scare the people. You don't need to like be like, this is so scary. I haven't seen Cloverfield, so still need to though. But I know there's a lot of shaky. Excuse me. Anyway, so they have scenes like that all throughout the film. Here's my one thing that I hate most about this film and what really ticks me off. The alien child. Okay, so I mentioned that Sigourney Weaver is part alien is part alien part human, I guess. The alien child, oh my god, I hate that thing. Basically the alien queen develops a womb instead of an egg sac that lays the eggs. I don't know why she does all of a sudden out of the blue. I mean, she didn't beforehand. They had the alien eggs from her, so anyway, she develops a womb and she gives birth to the alien child, full grown, everything. And it kills the mother, or kills the queen alien, thinking that Ripley is its mother. And this thing is just, why? It's just, it's such a dumb concept and so gross. Yeah, I don't like it. And the way that it dies is just so horrific. As much as I don't like it, it's a very horrific death. Very horrific. I don't want to talk about it, but give it a watch and don't let a younger child see it. Unless you've seen like a bunch of Saw movies, I guess. I don't know. Some of them seen Saw films. Need to. I got found that is obsessed. Anyway, so that happens like that, and just very gross. I don't like the character that they had for it. And why did they? It was needless. I guess extra climax. It was a bad film from the beginning. So, overall thoughts on the entire Alien franchise. I enjoy the Alien franchises a lot. I think that 1, 2, and 3 are very well done. 4th, good idea, very bad performance. I don't like it. So, rundown of my stars for all these movies. 3 out of 5. 4 out of 5. 2.5 out of 5. And finally, 1 out of 5 stars. So, I hope you all enjoyed the review. I suggest watching the Alien franchise. If you like the Alien movies, if you've seen 1 through 3, I suggest watching number 2 first, and then watching number 1, then 3, and if you really want to, watch 4. If you really do like the franchise, I suggest watching the 4th one. I mean, only if you like the franchise. That's about it. I mean, it's watchable, but very, very rarely. So, hope you all enjoyed, and hope you all enjoy the Super Bowl. And I'll be back with Prometheus in a moment. So, hope you all enjoyed, and go Hawks!